days!
I hope you find time to enjoy the sunny days ahead.
It's Monsieur Neuvillette.
Welcome to the Fortress of Meripede, dear esteemed
We're back! Oh, and a greeting from none other—
This isn't anything new. I figured you had him. Let's assume we've gone through the pleasantries and... I do remember a thing or two about Dominique.
Who does this guy think he is?
He once attempted to, I said, meaning that it was to be honest, Domenico doesn't seem like much of a conspirator. The fact that the three of you bothered...
He's got the same concerns we do.
I'm concerned about this incident because something similar...
That's an easy one.
Did I hear someone say melusine? What happened? Sijuin! Yeah, and we're investigating. Really?
There's no need to worry. Claran.
Well, that's great. But if the criminal's still...
Head nurse. Do you require me?
Writhsley.
Okay, I get it. I'll bring...
Think of it as more of a humble request. Thanks for the trouble. Consider me...
Whoa! If Paimon were...
Well, were I still a criminal, I'd probably ask for a lighter sentence. But enough jokes. Make yourselves at home. Our dear head nurse has mentioned you quite a few times.
Please come with me to the infirmary. And watch your...
Now that I think about it, I can leave this place soon. Huh?
Please rest here for a moment. Oh, and would anyone like... Paimon's not that... Thirst is a warning sign that you're dehydrated. I'll bring you some tea. Typical Sijuin. Why aren't you two saying?
You noticed them too. The badges they...
Familiar. But if both of you say so, let's go ask them about...
That's not a bad idea. I place great trust in Writhsley, so I rarely visit the fort.
Anything you need? Oh, this?
What's that?
We have a very long history. We have never had many members throughout our... Helping each other is our...
Sounds like a pretty neat...
All we want is to defend ourselves. But people won't give us a...
Interested in joining them? If you'd like to learn more, here... Our slogan may have evolved. Here, this book is for you.
You two look... It's the symbol of the... From what I've heard, it's based on something called a Medal of Peace. I've never seen one of those. The first president of our network was an amazing person. All of us have a...
We should have gathered enough information. Let's head back and talk to Neuvillette.
Did you manage to gather any intel?
Mm-hmm.
I personally crafted 2 of them myself. Carol's medal was destroyed in a fire.
Oh, so the network was inspired. Monsieur Neuvillette, His Grace has requested your presence in his...
All right.
Allow me to introduce this. Why don't you explain everything to him?
Neuvillette? What do you want?
Calm down. I merely want to... Was it your idea to send that letter? Hassan has already confessed.
That idiot!
Let me ask this another way.
Yeah.
Who is pulling your string?
What? You're not trying to frame me for...
It's best if you realize the gravity of your situation. I assume your previous attempt to incite unrest at the fort...
I admit
I can do that.
You see, we're all reasonable.
I only intended to do some small business at first. After making a few trips, I was suddenly approached by the Maréchaux safe, but I refused to accept any of that. The ignorant can be rightfully absolved from guilt, right?
And then you decided to take revenge on the Melusine?
My initial target was Neuvillette. Everyone in the fortress of Meropide was but for some reason, no one wanted to team up with me. In the end, I had to redirect my focus onto Melusine. I recall that Chiara was the one who confiscated my goods for instance, but the letter was in fact addressed to Essa.
Am I to assume that the claims you...
No.
Is it true that all members involved...
Yes. And that's all I know.
Sijuin, please take him back to the detention center. I'll deal with him later. So, Monsieur Neuvillette, you were...
Yes, I experienced a similar incident.
And how long ago was this
More than 400 years.
You might be overthinking this. Time can change a lot of...
What do you mean?
400 years ago, you and the Melusines you brought to Fontaine were the outliers in society. But in the present day, if someone were to threaten the safety of the Melusines...
That's right! We saw lots of people standing up for
Monsieur Neuvillette, the Melusines are a species you... When people refused to place their trust in Melusines, it was for almost 500 years, you've conducted every trial with people no longer have any Right now, your every decision will impact all of...
Paimon gets it now. No wonder no one wanted to...
I am undeserving of such high compliments. It isn't anything special or worthy of praise. It is unnecessary to hold me in such high regard. The complexity...
There's no need to be so modest. You're no longer that outsider you were before.
I must say that you've made a fair... Thank you for clearing my doubts.
Huh? You're leaving?
And so soon, too?
Thank you for the offer, but I know how this... While some are here to redeem themselves, there will... The less time I spend here, the better.
In that case, I'll have to insist.
Please, go ahead.
The first is about the guard who helped Domenico send that letter.
I know of what... The guard was indeed deployed from the Palais Memoria's staff. However, as I mentioned...
Well, that makes things a lot easier. Hey now, don't let your imagination... Those from up there have a tendency to sympathize with it. I'll have a chat with the guard and remind him to take precautions.
I see no issues with that.
Great! That's one thing out of the way.
The other thing was born from my own sense of curiosity.
Yep. Neuvillette thought their badges looked...
I noticed the small gang as well when I first took over the fort. I've looked into their founder, Vautrin. According to existing documentation, Vautrin remained... In other words, how he presented himself.
What? During his trial, I could sense that his feelings were complicated.
Perhaps he had been putting on an act.
An act?
Neuvillette and Vautrin had a close relationship as superior and subordinate. Thus, the more resentment he displayed, the clearer it would be to those who had been sitting on the fence. Vautrin's... That's all from me. Does anyone...
I don't have anything to... Well then, Let us head back.
Please, take care.
That trial is something I rarely bring up in conversation, but I have always felt deep regret for what happened to both Carol and Vautrin. The words he spoke in court often replay in my mind, as if urging me on to do something.
But Risley said he never resented you, right? Isn't that a good thing?
I believe I now understand what he wanted to tell me. I feel conflicted about those words. How should I describe it? Surprise, relief, fear, and regret. But this blend of emotions has led me to finally understand some things. I would like to hear your thoughts, too. What do you think of me?
Paimon agrees with everything Risley said. As Chief Justice, every single one of your trials, hey!
What I really think is, every trial you've ever judged has left its impression on you. And
That is, as I said, I find it difficult to express my emotions because I cannot fully understand myself. But I trust your judgment. Since some time ago, I have begun to notice that these changes were not due to any specific occurrence. I will try to contemplate this further.
Oh, huh? It's raining! Oh no, Paimon forgot to bring an umbrella! Come on, let's hurry before it rains harder!
It's raining again? I've had enough of this weather.
There go my travel plans.
Did you read the news this morning? Quick, put away everything on the clothesline.
When is this rain going to stop?
Hydro Dragon, don't cry!
They're planning to reanimate the monster. We have to report this to the Chief Justice.
The Fortress of Meropide. It's a good place for me.
He owes me so many answers.
Neuvillette? You could say he's the real symbol of Fontaine's justice.
Watch him closely. He could be trouble.
How can two completely different species possibly coexist?
Who's been threatening melusines? Show yourself!
You will see much in the human world, from the delightful to the depressing. And one day, when you have dwelt among humanity long enough, you will be placed to bring judgment over all as a spokesperson for Fontaine's past. Good morning, Monsieur Neuvillette! The rainy season's almost over! The skies are supposed to clear in a few days!
I hope you find time to enjoy the sunny days ahead.
Is the matter resolved?
Yep, we found the person who sent that threatening letter.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Sorry for dragging you up.
There's no need to apologize.
Yeah, you didn't drag us in. We got involved.
By the way...
At the Palais Marmonia. More than 50. I was worried that the excess of protection would make her feel...
What a relief.
Well, now it looks like the dust has to celebrate this joyous occasion.
That's not how you celebrate...
I will consider it.
Really?
Of course. My schedule is full for the following weeks. Come up with questions during the intervening days, and
yes! Thank you so much!
Now, if you'll excuse me, I must head back to the Palais and issue a communique to Pup. I hope it will assuage the concerns.
Oh, an exclusive interview! Don't let anything hold you back.
I agree. He'll decline any question he can't answer anyway.
Kiara? It's quite all right.
Thank you, monsieur. And thank you too, Traveler and Big Sis Paimon.
Do you remember Domenico?
Let me think. By the way, I saw in my dream, she looked really happy. I can't remember what our dreams were anymore.
I can sense your joy. It is indeed a delightful...
Monsieur Neuvillette... Oh, I almost forgot! I promised to model for A...
Of course. Off you go.
See you next time, monsieur!
See you next time. I really can't fathom what goes on. I really can't.